and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 10 social media habits that changed my life. I've been on social media for well over a decade now, and it is insane to think about how much of my life has been impacted or affected by social media in some capacity or another. When I created my first Facebook and Instagram accounts, I had no idea what those platforms would grow to become or how they would eventually become part of my daily rhythms and just impact my everyday life. Now, not only am I a consumer, but I'm also a creator on social media, and my relationship to it is so different than when it began. I honestly think there are so many incredible benefits to social media. It's an amazing tool to meet and connect with people. Literally, since moving to Ottawa a couple months ago, it's the main way that I've been making friends. And it's also a space for so much education and inspiration. There are so many quotes and books and tools and resources that I've discovered through social media. I've learned a lot through social media, both about other people, but also the world and things like history and recipes and habits and personal growth. And at the same time, there's so much comparison, so much bullying, so many thoughtless posts and comments, and people saying horrible things. There's so much room for insecurity and so many companies that literally profit off of it. It can be very overwhelming to try and figure out how to navigate. In 2018, I came across this video from Vox called "It's Not You, Phones Are Designed to Be Addicting," and it changed my life. I'll link it in the description box, and I would highly recommend watching it after this video because it really prompted me to think about how I wanted to use social media and wanted to interact with my phone versus how I was actually interacting with my phone. There's a lot I could say about this, but for the time being, I'm just gonna sum it up by saying my goal in my relationship to social media is to have it be a tool that I use rather than the other way around. So I'm really excited to be able to share these tips with you guys. Hopefully help you navigate social media to be able to pull out and embrace the good parts of it and minimize the negative effects it has on your life. Before we jump into the video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any videos coming from me very soon. Okay, the first social media habit that changed my life. It sounds really obvious, and if you already do this, amazing. I'll put timestamps in the video so you can skip to the next one. But I wish someone had said this to me a year ago. It's okay to unfollow people even if they haven't done anything wrong. There were a lot of creators who I was following who I either just didn't honestly really resonate with their content, or I was actively upset by it. I don't know why I stayed following these people for so long. It wasn't that there was anything wrong with them, but I did not gain anything positive from following them. In fact, looking at their content actively made me feel distressed. This year, I gave myself permission to dislike an account or unfollow an account or remove it from my life without feeling like I needed a reason. There were a lot of people who I was like, well, I kind of want to see how their lives turn out. I had an intervention for myself. I have since unfollowed those people, and my life is so much better for it. Okay, similarly to this one, utilizing the mute button has been just honestly chef's kiss in my life. There's a lot of people who I might know personally that I don't want to unfollow because I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I am interested loosely in keeping up with their lives. I always feel like we all know one or two people who we actually like and want to keep up with, but they just post so much that you're just this is my whole feed right now. Use the mute button. That's what it's there for. You're still following them. You can go check up on them when you want to, when you think about it, but you don't need to see everything everyone posts. Another social media habit that has really changed the game for me is taking a day off every single week. I'm trying to fully implement this. It's kind of hit or miss for me, but I really like to take Sundays fully off of Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, checking my email, all of the things. I will sometimes watch YouTube videos if I'm doing my Sunday reset or something. Even that, I think I want to try and switch to audiobooks just to take a full 24-hour period off. It's very grounding and very much brings me back to the real world for a little bit, which is really nice. Okay, another social media habit that has really changed my life is just changing my mindset around what I post and what I share. I'm not really talking about YouTube, even though I would say that still kind of applies. YouTube is work as well as fun for me, so it's a little bit different, but particularly on my other social media platforms, I've changed my mindset where I no longer post because I feel like I need to. I create for fun and for nothing else. A few years ago, I really would have cared about having a cohesive Instagram feed and having everything all fall into place, and because I cared what people thought about it and I wanted people to come onto my Instagram and be like, wow, you have such a pretty feed. Now I feel like my relationship to Instagram is very much, I want to be like, this is my digital scrapbook, and like this is where I'm keeping all my memories, and engage with it that way and post as a way of both connecting with people on the internet and being like, this is what's happening in my life, but also as something that I can look back on and be like, oh, this was my 2023. And I just think that that's been a much healthier way of engaging with it for me, and trying to capture little moments and just share the actual things that bring me joy and not just things that look good online. Another thing I did this year that really changed my relationship to social media was I followed a bunch more accounts, and I went through and I really looked for accounts that shared content that inspired me and excited me, whether that was like quotes or words that really impacted me, or just like, wow, these photos are so beautiful and it makes me want to recreate that beauty or that joy in my life. I'll share some of my favorite like comfort Instagram accounts in the description box, because I feel like I just have such a healthy feed now of people that I just love following and like that bring me a lot of joy, get me excited and inspired for everyday life. Okay, the next social media habit that I implemented this year was to delete a bunch of accounts on platforms that I didn't want to be on. So both as a consumer and as a creator, in kind of different ways, there's this pressure to like show up on all of the platforms. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, Be Real, all of the things. I started a TikTok account like a year and a bit ago, and I had a video go viral pretty quickly, which was crazy. I went from like 0 to 10,000 followers in a couple weeks, which was really unexpected. What happened was basically I had made this reel about writing my book, and that went viral, and then I had a bunch of people, all of those people who followed me were like, we want you to talk about the writing process and the publishing process, and that wasn't the kind of content that I wanted to create. And so then I started posting videos that did really poorly because it wasn't what my audience wanted to see. That really affected my mental health. I felt a lot of fear and anxiety over that, a lot of insecurity. And I also realized that I was spending so much time on TikTok as a platform scrolling through. So I don't use TikTok anymore. I have the app on my phone, and I'll sometimes go on to like watch certain people's videos or like look up something in particular, because I do think it is a cool platform, but personally it's not a platform that I want to be on. I just don't find it a healthy space for me. So the only platforms that I am on are YouTube, Instagram. I have Pinterest. I mostly really just use Pinterest now for specific things. So I'll go there if I'm looking for a recipe or for a quote or for mood board inspiration or outfit ideas, but I don't really just scroll on it. I didn't put this down as a habit on my list, but I actually think that's something I would add to this as well. It's just like have specific purposes with your different social media accounts, and don't just scroll to kill time or avoid getting bored. Boredom is actually really important to stimulate your creativity. It's important to create spaces in your life where you don't have anything to do. Just sitting with that and being alone with your thoughts, and not just scrolling to keep yourself from like being alone. The next social media habit that I put into practice this year was actually really similar to the first one. So like I said, I unfollowed a bunch of accounts, but the other thing I realized is that there were a lot of time-wasting accounts that I didn't actually follow, but that showed up on my explore page. So for example, celebrity gossip. It's not something I really care about. It's not something I want to read about, but they're so good at making those clickbaity headlines. I was just spending so much time reading about things that honestly, I didn't really want to know about. And so every time, for the last 9 months or whatever, every time an account has popped up on my explore page with celebrity gossip, I just block it so it cannot show up. And it has made such a difference. The last social media habit that I want to tell you about today is actually a hack I learned from that Vox video, and that is to turn your phone into grayscale mode. So this is something that you can turn it on in settings, and basically the way it works is you just click your power button 3 times and then it turns your phone into grayscale. Go watch the video because it will explain the whole thing, but basically app manufacturers are smart. The social media apps that you interact with, the platforms you engage with, the photos you're posting, the ads you're seeing, all of them are designed to literally hook your brain in and not only pique your interest by like talking about topics you want to hear about, but using specific shades of colors that your brain can't look away from. Y'all, they know what they're doing. And turning my phone into grayscale mode has been really helpful because it makes the experience of being on social media and honestly on my phone as a whole much less satisfying and so much less enjoyable because there is no color. Now I can turn it off just as easily by clicking those 3 buttons, and I do quite frequently. I've on my phone in grayscale all the time. But having that option is so nice for times when I don't want to stay on my phone too much. If you have the willpower to stick with it, try it out and you will not regret it. You guys, those are 10 social media habits habits that have changed my life. Like I said, I am simultaneously a really big fan of social media and also very aware of its dangers and downfalls, and I've experienced them for myself. If this video can help you in any way avoid some of those, that would be amazing. Leave a comment and let me know if you've implemented any of those, if you have any social media boundaries in your life, what that looks like for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know down below. Every time you comment on a video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. It helps me a ton. Oh, and in the spirit of the video, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I hope you have a great day, because today is a great day to have a good day. That's it. Bye.